Hi everyone, for this week's Mindset I want to chat with you about International Women's Day. Yesterday I was very fortunate to take part in a satellite event that was put on at the Joan Sutherland Centre, and oh look, my glasses are fogging up, so let's just take those off. Hopefully I can see. I took part in a satellite event. So the Sydney Opera House had a festival called All About Women, and they had a panel discussion yesterday. Tickets were a sellout, and to make the information accessible to lots of people all around the country, it was streamed live to a whole lot of satellite sites. So 30 of us were sitting in the theatre at the Joan Sutherland Centre watching live what was going on at Sydney Opera House. It was fantastic. So the speakers of the day were Masha Gessen, who is a Russian-American LGBT activist and author. We had Anne Sherry from Carnival. We had Anne-Marie Slaughter, who is the president of the New America Foundation. Sorry, I have to check my notes because I forget their actual, I want to make sure I get them right. Mallory Ortberg, who is an author, and she's a feminist comedian, and she runs a website, a feminist website called The Toast. And Crystal Lehman, who is a Canadian climate and energy campaigner, and it was hosted by Jenny Brocky. So the things that popped out for me, and look, I took loads and loads of, I can't even get my words out today, loads and loads of notes in the dark. Okay, so they're scribbled everywhere. But I think the main points that I got out were a couple of things, or the things that I noticed. So when everybody started talking, Anne-Marie Slaughter is an author, she is a lawyer, she's an academic, and everybody started talking. And when Mallory was brought into the conversation, the first thing that Mallory did was express that she felt unworthy of being on the panel because everybody else was so smart. So immediately what I recognised was someone doubting herself when she is more than qualified and was picked and brought out especially to be part of this particular panel. So I felt sad about that, but how reflective that is of us as women, that we would do that we would go straight into the self-doubt. And she was fabulous and she had nothing to worry about, but I just wanted to notice that. Some of the topics that were talked about were things like intersectional feminism, and Anne-Marie made a comment about, when you were young and you went to play tennis, you were told, like, don't let the boys win. Okay, so that was kind of information being given to her. And then on the other side, Crystal Lehman and Mallory point out that, what about the people who didn't get invited to the tennis club? So there's this notion about, and I totally get the white privilege, and I check my white privilege absolutely. But what Anne-Marie pointed out was that those white corporate feminists who helped pave the way, we wouldn't really have any kind of rights without them. But what I want to say as a feminist also is that if we have excluded or diminished the struggle of women of colour or Indigenous people in the world, or people with a disability, I feel bad about that. That's not my intention. And my thought is, like, let's all band together and help, fight for equality. I don't think that that's intentional, and I certainly acknowledge that, an Indigenous female or a female with a disability is already, doing it way tougher than what, white female me would be doing. So I wanted to acknowledge that was one of the